She also came all the way up here from Florida. She's a public school teacher in South Florida and longtime activist in the Florida anti-war movement. She co-founded Students for Justice in Palestine at the University of Florida, Power in South Africa, and serves proudly on the UNAC Administrative Committee. Cassie is also a member of the Road Socialist Organization. Please join me in welcoming Cassia.
All right, everybody. I need to ask you something. If you're standing in front of me, turn to your left. If you're standing behind me, turn to your right. Face that building right over there. And I need you to chant with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't fight a rich man's war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't fight a rich man's war. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We won't fight a rich man's war.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We won't fight a rich man's war.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We won't fight a rich man's war.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We won't fight a rich man's war.
All right, y'all. It's an honor to be here today alongside you in solidarity with the anti-imperialist people of the world, especially the people of Venezuela. Living in the United States, it's our duty to oppose these deadly wars, these deadly sanctions, these interventions that have killed millions of people throughout the world. We must resist the policies of imperialism and allow the people of the world to determine their own fate. It is our responsibility to do this. The last time I was in Washington, D.C. for a national protest, I was 17 years old. It was 2007, and we were at a march marking the 4-year anniversary of the U.S.-led NATO war against the people of Iraq. I saw hundreds of Iraq vets against the war do a die-in in civil disobedience. I saw 30 to 50,000 people take over the streets of D.C. And I thought to myself, this is it. This is what we need to do. We need to continue. If we just have more people in the streets, if we have more people protesting and rallying, that in and of itself will end the wars. But I was 17 and a little bit mistaken, because that's only half of our job. Half of our job here is to continue building these anti-war, anti-imperialist movements. But the other half, while these marches and protests are imperative in raising the consciousness of the people and making the issues of war imperialism central to the politics of this country, we need to do something else. These marches won't end the wars alone, because we live in a country run by the 1%. Whose interests are placed above those of the people always. And being an imperialist country means colonial exploitation of people and places outside of our borders to bring in more profit for the people on top. And organizing in an imperialist country means that despite whichever party holds power, whatever person inhabits that house over there, whether he's a bumbling idiot from Texas, a smart cool guy from Chicago, or a misogynistic racist billionaire, it doesn't matter. It's the imperialist agenda that's followed. And I'm sad to say that for every year of my millennial life, the United States has been bombing, invading, sanctioning, and intervening in, destroying countries and people the world over. Hell, as we speak, little Marco, war crimes Abram, and Mr. Troika of tyranny Bolton himself are cooking up new ways to wreak havoc on the people of Venezuela. For months they've tried fake humanitarian aid interventions, poorly orchestrated opposition rallies, fake interim presidents, and fabricating a hunger crisis. They've imposed harsh sanctions and readied the troops. So what's it going to take to end these decades of wars? Aside from building the movements against imperialism, we have to continue to build up the workers' movements, the Chicano and Black liberation movements, the women's liberation movement, the queer movement, and it needs to be us, we the people who hold the power in the United States. Because the working class has nothing to gain from military exploitation abroad, only the 1% does. And that's exactly what the Bolivarian Revolution in Venezuela is all about. The working poor of Venezuela took control of their country in 2002, and ever since the United States has been trying to punish them for it. So it's imperative that we express our solidarity with the people of Venezuela, because the Bolivarian Revolution is a revolution which the workers hold the power, and that's what we need to do here if we want to end the wars of conquest abroad. And that scares the crap out over there. So friends, join us as we march, and please